Hi there. This is Stephanie Stevenson, otherwise known as midlifeartist.com. I am the artist of midlifeartist.com, and I am joining you on my weekly Wednesday live stream to um, welcome you back. As you know, if you joined in last week, I was in the throes of my final preparations for my Dahlonega Art Wine Festival event that happened this past weekend. I just want to check in with my chats to make sure that one, they can see me, two, that they can hear me, and that I sound okay. Can any, because I see the chat is open, and I just want to make sure people can hear me and see me. And everything's okay because last week's live stream was riddled with technical difficulties. And again, this week is slightly affected by technical difficulties. I am without palette cam. I discovered this evening that the free service I use to broadcast the view from my old phone as what I call my palette cam changed somehow. And I couldn't get it to connect. It required me to sign in when it didn't require that before. So I do not have palette cam, but I do have my camcorder aimed down because I am drawing tonight, not on canvas. Uh, so, um, so yes, fun times. So guess what I got to learn this next week before next Wednesday on how to reconnect VDO, which is VDO. That's what I use to connect my old phone as a video source for the live stream. So I got to learn that again. Fun. Anyway, I am rested up. I'm feeling good. And I want to, welcome you all back. If you are on Rumble and you're new, welcome. If you're on Rumble and you're not new, welcome back. It's good to see all y'all. And if you are a lurker or an observer and you're not in the chat, that's okay. Um, Welcome anyway. If you are viewing me from meeting me from the event, I welcome you. I'm glad you're joining in. I hope this doesn't disappoint. So we'll see how it goes. I decided to use this live stream to talk about the event, share some pictures, and share my reflection on it. Um, and I did that in a video. I'm going to try to play it. Hopefully, it doesn't lag or have any issues. I'm not used to doing videos in my live streams. So I'm going to give it a whirl. And in the meantime, I'm going to try to figure out which way I'm going to do this drawing and whether I'm going to do it in charcoal or I'm going to do white ink on black paper. So uh, I'm watching the uh, the chat. um, in any case, without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and see if I can't get my video going and then switch to my two view live stream so you can see at least through the camcorder what I'm going to try to do. I'm rusty with pen and ink, so this could be a disaster, and that's okay. I'm not expecting any masterpieces this evening. So again, let me go ahead and get to palette cam, which is where I loaded up my video. And I'm going to hit refresh here and then mute my mic and hold it in my hand temporarily so I know I'm muted. Dahlonega Art and Wine Festival 2026, my first art festival as a vendor. Over the past couple of months, many of you have followed my journey toward my very first art festival as a vendor. I've documented every step, every painting, every live stream fumble, every moment of doubt and excitement. Now that the Dahlonega Art and Wine Festival is behind me, I want to give a full, honest reflection on the experience and what it means for my path forward. The volume's way down. I've got the video all the way up, unfortunately. Um, I'm going to mute my microphone. I don't think I can. Let me see. I'm going to try to see if I can't figure out why my volume's so low. I apologize, everybody. They changed my audio deck, so I'm trying to figure out where I. Okay, well, maybe if you can turn up your volume, and if it's still not hearable, then I'll just have to wing it. I'm such a noob. Hold on, here we go. But first, acknowledgments. This journey started with one person's suggestion and grew into a community effort. And as I wrote in my draft of this narrative, one started me on this journey, while so many have joined me along the way. That is absolutely true. My family, my dad, was the first to encourage me to try applying to the Artisphere Festival in Greenville, South Carolina. Neither of us realized how intense the application process would be, and when I finally read the fine print, I realized I wasn't ready, and honestly, I'm still not. But that attempt threw me into the world of art festivals and set everything in motion. My mom, my children, and my in-laws have supported me in every possible way, financially, emotionally, and with endless encouragement. My mom, she listened to me talk for hours. Every challenge, every small victory, she listened. My sons, they refused to let me quit when I felt defeated. And then there's my sister-in-law, Lisa, my one and only paid subscriber on Locals, a weekly live stream viewer, a creative collaborator, and this weekend, my volunteer helper. She even took a day off of work to be there. Her support moved me to tears. Her husband Jared and son Xander also stepped in to help me break down my booth. Their help made the entire experience not just possible, but successful. My online art community. To everyone who has watched me paint, encouraged me, prayed for me, and believed in my potential, you have been a sustaining daily force. Your support has mattered more than you know. And my husband. My husband has always believed in me from the day he met me. He was frustrated when I wouldn't step out into my artistic endeavors. But now that I have, he's inspired artwork. He's collaborated with me through his tabletop role playing game world and taken care of me when I couldn't take care of myself. My gratitude for him and for all of you overflows, and I am blessed. Now, reflections on the festival. First, let me start off by outlining the challenge of premium art festivals. And so before I talk about Dahlonega specifically, I want to acknowledge the barriers that keep emerging artists, especially part-time ones, from participating in big name festivals. The jury process often will force artists into narrow categories. The high booth fees are often $300 to $600 or even more. There's strict equipment rules and expensive professional tent requirements. And then, of course, makes it limited flexibility for artists who are still building their body of work. So these hurdles are real and they're also discouraging. So why Dahlonega was my first choice? It was the right starting point for me, because the booth fee was under $200. The jury process was more flexible. It's in my home state of Georgia. The organizers were accessible and responsive, and it offered a realistic entry point for an emerging artist like me. So let me tell you what was really good about my experience, because there were so many positives. Dahlonega has a beautiful downtown setting with mature shade trees. There was clear communication between the event organizers and the participating artists. They provided good mapping, and they had an army of helpful volunteers. They provided well-marked booth layouts. They gave flexible setup times. They had volunteers offering water and snacks several times each day. Thankfully, they also provided 24/7 police security. The warm weather cooperated. It was maybe a little too warm. And best of all were the wonderful conversations that I was able to have with festival goers and fellow vendors. There are some areas that were less positive and probably are great opportunities for improvement. And so here are a few things that were challenging. One vendor neighbor of mine didn't really honor the walkway spacing between tents, and it would cause crowds of people to press against my tent wall with people holding drinks. I worried about trip hazards and potential damage to my original artwork. I paid for power access to my tent, but never received instructions on how to use it, where to find it, how to plug it in. I meant to ask, but the overwhelm of the event made me forget. And the festival didn't negotiate hotel rates for vendors. The only affordable option I found was an essentially a repainted red roof inn. It had clean beds, thankfully, and a big fridge, but a wobbly toilet, questionable tub, and a lobby manager who was difficult to understand. I'll leave you to interpret that as you may. The best takeaways from all of this: the location was beautiful and well maintained. The people were kind, respectful, and genuinely interested. The festival struck a rare balance, accessible for emerging artists while still maintaining a high degree of quality. My goals going into this festival, and then how I did with them. Goal number 1, become an artist vendor and an art-centric festival. Ding! Achieved. Break even financially. Not so much. Stay true to my artistic style and values. Achieved. Have meaningful interactions with festival goers. Ding! Achieved again. Learn from experienced vendors. Ding, 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 ding. Winner, winner. Adopt best practices for future events. That is still in progress. And evaluate the results and future challenges from this event. That is also still in progress. So where do I go from here? Well, I know that my immediate actions are going to entail the following. I'm going to do a complete, full financial analysis. I'm going to submit applications to the Harris Arts Center in Calhoun, Georgia, and the Creative Arts Guild in Dalton, Georgia. These are a little closer to home, for exhibitions in the near future. I'm going to keep painting and expanding my body of work. In addition, I'm going to explore new subjects suggested by festival attendees. I'm going to continue my collaborations with L.M. Stevenson and Jackadoo Productions, and I'm going to participate in local farmers markets to sell prints and display a few originals. So there are some questions I need to answer going forward. How many festivals within 2 hours of home are as accessible as Dahlonega? Can I afford a tent upgrade? Professional tents cost $2,000 to $5,000. Plus, can they be set up by little old me alone? Should I allow myself to be boxed into a niche medium just to meet jury requirements? How do I secure a festival helper when I can't afford one? What does my long-term path look like? So, as I wrote in my draft for this, soul searching about my path forward is needed, and that's exactly where I am now. So there you have it. I am grateful to have met so many people at the festival, had great conversations. Several have connected to me online, and I'm grateful for that connection. And I hope to foster a great relationship going forward. And I want to thank all the festival goers who did make a purchase at my booth, inquired about who I was as an artist, and had conversations with me. You are all wonderful, and I'm grateful to have met you. Please continue to reach out, follow, subscribe, comment, like, and share at will as you deem my content fit. Again, thank you for listening. Thank you for responding. And if you've got questions about my experience, please feel free to ask in the chat or in the comments or send me an email. My website is midlifeartist.com. My name is Stephanie Stevenson. You may know me as Watercolor Artiste in online circles, and you can meet me every Wednesday night on my live stream at 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central. Thanks again. All right. Can you hear me okay? Sorry if you had to turn up your volume and now I'm back on and probably it's a little too loud. So I apologize, but I figured I would do a little video like that. I can use that for later content as well on my uh, video channels. But yeah, I have a lot to be thankful for. I did have a learning experience. It was hot, so me and Lisa both sweated up a storm, but we had a good time. It was a lot of work. We met a lot of good people, and I think Lisa had more reactions to her book than she anticipated, which was great because that's what a collaboration does. She even had to have she got caught unawares. I was going to say she got caught with her pants down, but that would be a little too much information. No, she got caught unawares when someone, asked for her to sign one of her bookmarks that featured Resilient, her book, with of course my cover art. And so she went out and bought a pen, and just in case that happened again. And of course, for the rest of the weekend it didn't. But yeah, so it was an opportunity for both of us. Obviously, more so for me because of the kind of event it was. But we had a great time. Shut up, Crazy Bear. Oh my goodness. Thank you, Lisa, on the video. I would have liked to have had more pictures, and I usually take pictures, but that's usually done with my um, cell phone. Well, I had to keep my cell phone uh, at the tent. So um, I couldn't take it when I went out walking or anything like that, because, of course, if I did, that would be the one time that Lisa, while watching the tent for me on my behalf, would have had someone wanting to buy something, and of course, I wouldn't have my phone there to do tap to pay. So yeah. Uh, in case you're wondering what I'm doing, oh, I gotta figure out how to get my let's see here, camcorder. All right. Let's see. Let me do to view live stream. We will do webcam. You can kind of move me over here. Maybe I can make the other one bigger so you can see it. Camcorder. Like I said, my palette cam didn't work when I needed it to. Um, there you go. So it's sideways, unfortunately, but I am doing I liked a black and white photo I saw online of Secretary of War Pete Hegseth. It was a great, he's got this intense look that a Secretary of War should have. And so I'm like, well, I do like the manly men, and again, this is not going to be my greatest work of art, but it's okay. I'm not worried about it. Um, but but yeah, I figured I'd give it a shot, do some pen and ink that I haven't done in a long time. I haven't done pen and ink. I was a little inspired by Zin's video on the fountain pens that he did not too long ago and all the ink work he's been doing. And I thought, well, maybe I need to try my hand at that again as a way to just, relax, take a load off, have low expectations of myself. But uh, but yeah, it was a great baseline learning experience. And yeah, it is hard to sign a laminated bookmark. We need more collaborators. Any photographers in the mix? Now that's a whole nother matter. I had a lot of I had in my art bins just a couple of my flower photography, up close flower photographs that I took even before I came out as an artist. And and I only did a couple of those because my focus, again, kind of pigeonholing myself because of these festivals that, require you to be consistent in something singular, it seems like. And so um, I uh, I only did a couple of those, and people liked them, but no one bought any, so it's okay. I don't feel bad that I only had two of each kind. Um, but yeah, it was a great. I had a lot of good conversations with people. They were really nice people there, um, very well dressed people. I mean, I was surprised by how some of the individuals were dressed. And, some of them were really like, Sunday best. And I know that was on Sunday, so they could have been coming from church, maybe. Um, so you can probably see his faces coming out already on this. Let's see here. There is a spot here. But yeah, and then there were some, others that were dressed like I would be. I'd be in my most comfortable clothes whatsoever, uh, that I felt comfortable in my skin in out in public. But yeah, which would have not been as like Sunday best, because I go for comfort. But yeah, I want to do more. But I also need to look at things realistically. I need to be very discerning on what um, what shows I'm going to try to go for in the future. Because if and when I do a tent upgrade, I was saying this to Lisa at the event, um, that I will make sure that when I do upgrade, it's going to be you know, the next and last upgrade because I want to have the right tent the next time around, one that will work for me, and the like, and one that I can essentially um, put up myself. So that has to be that. So I got to do some homework there, you know. Yes, low expectations. Well, that's what I got. Woohoo! um, but so I really I want to do this more, but I need to be realistic. I need to do some more homework. Um, do the eyes here. I'm not really getting, this is either white or black, so there's no tonal value. So I gotta capture the essence of, of Mr. Hegseth. As best as I can with these two tonal values. And that's always fun, isn't it? And I'm doing it with a paintbrush. If you hadn't noticed, that's kind of what I'm doing. Um, oh, oh my goodness. Because there's a lot of gray tonal values. So uh, this, I don't know how this will register. And like I said, I wasn't expecting a a masterpiece. Certainly not at this point. And since I haven't done a pen and ink in a while, but I was explaining that my black rose done back in 2022 to some individuals was white ink on black paper. And people were impressed with that. And I'm like, man, I haven't done that since that, I'm pretty sure since that rose. And I'm like, well, that's been too long. It's what, been 4 years? And I haven't done a white ink on black paper since then. So yeah, Frank Millerish. Hmm. Okay. Well, it's kind of hard to I had pulled out my other white ink and it had dried up. That's how long it's been that one of my white inks is dried up in the bottle. How bad is that, right? I'm like, oh my gosh, I really do need to get back into it. And then again, it's like, okay, you know, I haven't done this because I've been focusing on making a body of work in kind of one or two mediums for the sake of these festivals so that I can fill my three tent walls with artwork of the same or, similar mediums and be able to participate. And so yeah. And it kind of almost doing like negative space drawing here in a way. I'm used to drawing with the dark and highlighting the back here. Let me, oh yeah. So I'm working on it. Like I said, it's not gonna be the best likeness of him. Uh, I freehanded this pretty well, but it is definitely not my best work. But that's okay. This is more like a sketchbook exercise. Ah, Sin City. Huh. I did watch Sin City back in the day, but um, I don't remember much of it. Uh, Not my cup of tea, typically. And here we go. Mr. Hegseth, your eyes. I do have this ink is somewhat absorbing into this black paper, almost giving me a little bit of value. So I'm not sure how to, I haven't worked with this in such a long time. And then in here, It's actually a gray. And then we got up here, almost looks like, oh gosh, Jack in the face. It almost looks like Jack Probisic. I don't know how to say his last name. The face on this looks more like him than Pete. Didn't mean that to happen. I may have to come back in with some blacks, some dark black to overdo some of the overdone highlights that I got going on here. But yeah, I really liked Dahlonega. I thought it was a very pretty downtown, a lot of great little shops. I was telling my youngest son last night when I was talking to him about it, and he's like, "Well, next time I come down, we ought to go down there and see it." And I'm like, "Yeah, absolutely, we can." Um, you know what it is? I think I did his forehead a little too short. That's probably why I got a different. And that's I'm not going to worry about it too much. Yeah, he's wearing a dark suit jacket, and I can't with white ink render that. Although this is soaking in a little bit. Right in here, it's soaking in a little bit. I wonder if I do layers, it'll brighten up in the brighter spots. Yeah, I like doing portraits. Um, I got asked by some festival goers if I had any ladybugs because I had a welcome sign that I bought, a little welcome flag um, that I hung on the outside of my tent. It's not related to my art. I just wanted, a nice welcome sign. And someone mistook it for my artwork, unfortunately, and I didn't even think about that. And I'm like, well, no, I don't have any ladybugs. I wish I did now. At the Kahada event that I did, I had someone ask if I had any turtles. And I, of course, don't have turtles. And so, and of course, I love butterflies, but I don't really have any butterflies. So, yeah, I gotta expand my, that's true. The pricing didn't seem overinflated. Not too bad anyway. Um, um, but yeah, I feel like, um, I need to expand my subject matter. Okay, I know what I'm doing here. This needs to come down like a more of a look at, I'm the Secretary of War. I can take you out, man. I can take you out. So yeah, but there was this one really sweet college gal because Dahlonega is home to the University of North Georgia, come to find out. And I didn't quite get that until we were there. And they had just finished up um, graduation ceremonies. And so there was a lot of graduates roaming around. And probably using more water in my paintbrush will give me some more values here. Um, and so yeah, it was like graduation day or the day after graduation day. And there was this one sweet graduate student who came into my booth, and apparently she had gotten her degree in art. I'm not sure what kind of degree, but she got one in art, and she has her own style and her own focus, and she's looking to maybe do the same thing, you know. And I kind of told her about my story in summation, and she's like, "That's awesome." She says, "That's so awesome. Can I hug you?" And I was surprised by that. I'm like, "Yeah, lay one on me," because I thought that was awesome, you know. Um, I love a very bright and cheerful person, and she was. And God bless her heart. I was blessed by that. I really was. And she instantly wanted to connect with me on Instagram, and so we're connected. Um, and I think you know, there's a girl in the Cohutta area that seeks me out whenever I do the Cohutta events, and she's like 13, so very young. And she seeks me out to show me her latest sketches. So I end up being a sort of, not a muse, but a mentor, I guess. A de facto mentor, and I'm okay with that role. Although there's not much you can learn from me because I'm just getting started. Even though I may be older, I'm just, getting started in my artistic stuff, but they're still further behind me in that regard. So yeah, I think I'm using a little just water to kind of drag this over to kind of give me another value. Ink dries so fast too, so um, yeah, ink dries so fast. Yeah, so yeah, I know that I'll have to do the Kahoot events mm, for sure because that young girl seeks me out and wants to show me her latest drawings and stuff. So I try to very much to encourage her um, and give her some advice. She's definitely into drawing, and that's a good start. You have to really know how to draw before you can really move on to anything else anyway. So yeah, it was, it's nice to kind of feel like you're a muse for somebody. Um, insect painting. Yeah. Um, I do think I'm going to do some butterflies. I'm going to do um, I'm going to do some ladybugs. I am not doing any um, ants or anything like that. I am going to try. I've been wanting to do um, a octopus, but I want to do an octopus that's like a kraken, um, and is attacking a ship. That's kind of what I want to do. I know that's kind of silly, but to me that sounds like a challenge. And of course, what's my journey going to be if I don't have a challenge, right? So, um, so yeah, I want to do a kraken um, that's attacking a three-masted ship, but I've got to get to a point where I can draw that and paint that and all that stuff, you know. So, our octopus, octopus. Okay, you're gonna have to explain to me what you're thinking there, man. A octopus. I must be missing the punchline on that. But yeah, it was, I was grateful for the event, grateful for the opportunity to do that. Um, and, having a hard time rendering hair with ink and a paintbrush because ink dries. It's not like a lot of people think it's like watercolor, but it is not. It is not like watercolor. Yes, it's water-based, but it dries right away and it's unforgiving. So you either draw over it or you come back in with um, another ink and redo some of those areas. He's got some very distinctive hair, and I want to try to capture that. Yeah, it's not looking that great. He's looking really washed out. There's a harsh light on him. And like I said, I'm not getting the values I want. So I may have to come in with um, some black again and kind of resettle some of these areas. But yeah, I was really, really happy to be part of that. And I think um, I do think that if Dahlonega continues to keep its flexibility for artists like me, I think I'll come back, maybe, again. Um, and I know that I'll be doing better than I did before. I think his eyes are a little. All right, hold on. I need to get the black ink. All right, black ink. I'm going to get my black pens too while I'm at it. I do have paint pens, but that feels like cheating to me. I don't know why. Inktense paints, I haven't. I do have Inktense pencils, but I'm not comfortable with those yet. Um, I haven't really used them as much as I should. Um, Again, I've been focusing on painting with oils and acrylics and watercolors, so the whole ink thing has been falling by the wayside. Um, so, all right, hold on. Oh, I got it. Very good. Excuse me. Um, I don't know what I was saying. I lost my train of thought. But um, I have to say, I had the 2 days were different, very different in that Saturday, I felt like I had more interactions with people, more conversations with people. Um, I had more sales on Saturday than Sunday. Um, it was the roses, my watercolor and ink roses were a hit, as well as my yellow one. So I sold several prints, I think two white, a black, and a yellow. Over the weekend, I sold a print of my fireman. I actually sold a print of Lot's wife. Someone thought that was really beautiful, and they liked it. They also bought a print of my Toast to Summer painting. Um, I On Sunday, my fractured painting was like the painting of the day. I had at least three different people throughout the day walk into my tent and zero in on that painting, um, and like it, and they wanted to, um, they wanted to know the story behind it. Okay. Boy, does he look mad. That's okay though. He's the Secretary of War. All right. Um, there we go. I do think that helps when I come back in with some black. Have you tried the Inktense paints, Zen? Oh, and Lisa, before I forget, I wanted to let you know I finally got your book, and I didn't um I didn't have to download anything special. It just opened up on my browser window and on my laptop, and I could read from there. So I keep it open, and when I can, I read it. I'm chapter two. I'm not far in, uh, but very well done so far. I'm I wanna read more and more frequently, but you know, time's limited. But I do want to make sure I read it so I can give you a good, give you a review and so yeah. So yep, I've got it and I'm reading it. And you said you're going to get interviewed soon, right? Um, and then it gets released sometime later on at the end of the month, maybe next month, something like that. Oh, so you did get the narrator. Very good. So was it the one you had me listen to, or was it somebody else? Because I just think it's a neat. I'd like to hear more about your process, not, because that is that's just something I'm not familiar with, and so you'll have to share with me more about it because I find it very fascinating, and I'm looking forward to hearing when you get interviewed. But yeah, here we go. I'm going to show you. I'm coming back in with black ink. You can see it's again. I think his eyes are angled too much. That's probably it. This is yeah. His eyes are angled too much. All right. How do I fix that on an ink one? And with paint, you can pretty much fix it, you know? With ink, you kind of SOL. Oh my goodness. Take June 4th and probably July release. Okay. Okay, very cool. And then Zen, you've got those intense. They're like watercolor till they dry and then they're permanent. And you can go light over dark, but the white goes on clear and turns white as it dries. Really? Huh, interesting. It was the one you listened to. I gave her a scene that involved four characters, including the one with the Texas drawl, and she aced it. Ha! Nice. Nice, nice, nice. Um, okay. Let's see here. I'm gonna use a little more water. This is really not. No, that's silly, Stephanie. there we go. I gotta. Oh, okay, Stephanie. I'm sorry. I got quiet. I got focused. I'm sorry. Oh my goodness. It's not gonna work. You can't blend with your finger, Stephanie. It doesn't work that way. Yeah, that's true. She does. I met an individual at the Cajada um, event. He was wearing a Tennessee hat, and I said, I don't know, something tells me you might be a Tennessee fan. Of course, I was doing that tongue in cheek, of course. And he started talking to me, and I swear his accent was so thick, I wasn't quite sure if I was understanding him. So I kind of did what my dad-in-law does and smile and nod and yeah, yeah, oh, yeah, yeah, because I was like, I felt stupid for wanting to ask him to, repeat himself, and then I thought if I ask him to repeat himself and I still can't understand him, then obviously I'm gonna make myself look like an idiot, and he's gonna feel like an idiot, and it's like, oh gosh, no. Where did you transplant from, Zen? Now, while I was born in the South, I was raised in New England. So, I got a Southern mom and a Yankee dad. Um, so you know, there we go. I think I got this a little fixed, that the eyes aren't angled the wrong way. And here, that's what I'm missing. I'm missing some dark here around the nostril. Ohio, 93. Okay. I was raised in New England for the most part. So, but I grew up with a Southern, Mississippi mom. So a lot of my friends loved her, because she never lost her accent. Um, it may have been, somewhat dulled over the years, but not fully lost. Um, and uh, and when she's talking with somebody else from the South, it just comes out in full force. What's the it's a it's a question, but it's said as one word. Y'all want to go get something to eat or something like that. Ron does it better than I do because obviously uh, I am still too northern in my getting paper towels because some of this is still wet. Let's see. How does this look? And you guys want to see? Let's see here. It's somewhat looking like him. Somewhat. I think it's good to you want to go get something to eat. Yeah, there. That's it right there. How's your mom and him? Yep, and him. That is it right there in a nutshell. He's got a firm chin here. I think I got this a little off. It's clear that it's a little off, but it's okay. This is just for fun. And this is, I think I've come a long way because prior to coming out, I would never have even started this because I'm like, I know it's not going to be perfect. And so if it's not perfect, why bother? But I've come to the conclusion that you're going to do ugly art every now and then, and it's okay. Sometimes you just got to do it for the fun of it. And if you're not having fun, then you're in the wrong part of it. And I want to make sure that I'm having fun with it. Let's see here. There we go. It is looking more like him now. Here. This is dark. And then this comes out. Can't be scared to do this, right? You can't be scared to try this stuff. I could probably, and I keep doing this with a paintbrush, but I could potentially come back in with black, black pen and do this. Right, but I guess I always default to a paintbrush. I guess that's my thing. You know what I mean, Jelly Bean? A slight glare on my pad of paper here, believe it or not. Usually that's just reserved for the canvases. Yeah, you can tell from the side even that it's looking more like him. I mean, not the best, but that's okay. I keep telling myself because I need to convince myself. So it's more for my benefit, I think, than yours. Yeah, I just liked this photograph. I don't know who took it, and I'm not planning on doing anything with this. This is just a sketchbook thing. But yeah, there's just a hint of light from underneath, and then there's some here. I'm trying to blend with ink. How silly. Oh my gosh. So yeah, I was real happy about it. What else did I sell? I sold a print of the cowboy. I sold a print of my wild horses pen and ink. I feel like I'm forgetting a few, and I am. I know I am. But but yeah, they never really know what people are going to like, because I kept thinking, what if I actually thought about putting like, when someone bought my Hedy Lamarr, a print of my Hedy Lamarr, which was the Hollywood starlet, um, and loved that, and I'm like, oh, that's great. And I thought about not even putting those out because I'm like, I don't know if anyone's going to want to buy those. And, and lo and behold, certainly did. And I'm like, okay, all right. You just don't know, and it's okay. I do feel like um, I think I had more variety in my tent than some of the other artists there. And maybe because the other artists have more experience with these and also more experience with having the pigeonhole effect of, one kind of style, for the application process and stuff. I'm just grateful that the Dahlonega organizer said that I could put up my artwork, all, my pen and inks, my drawings, um, and I really, I'm glad because that helped me fill up my tent, and that was critical, obviously. I think getting his hair right is really brings it out that this is Pete Hegseth, even if I don't get the proportions of his face correct, at least in this instance. Yeah, I did you sell an avatar? Shush. Oh, Lisa. Well, yes. Okay, so my Amazon painting. which is an Amazon from Ron's TTRPG. Looks more like an avatar from the movie. And that's what everyone said. And I'm like, no, it's not an avatar. Well, I wasn't saying it like that, but I'm like, no, no. I said, I can see why you think that, but no, it's from my husband's RPG game. It's kind of like my caricature of my player, my character. I play an Amazon named Artemis, and some people didn't want to hear that. They were like, "No, it's a Avatar." I'm like, no. So part of me wants to go back and paint over it and make it more like the lore of my husband's game because I did make it more blue than what the game lore has. Um, but he likes it that way too. So that painting, even though it's not quite to the lore. So now that, it's coming out more and more like him, isn't it? Yeah. I had one person ask about the light in the darkness, Christian walking in the forest with the lamp, whereas I sold that in Kahutta much better than um, anywhere else. I did not sell any prints of the Christian Sojourner this time. So, which, I found interesting because I thought people would like that in Georgia, and maybe it's not I don't know. And so that one didn't resonate as much as others. All right, let's see if I can zoom in a little bit. This isn't too terribly bad. I gotta, no, I don't want that. But what else happened? So yeah, someone thought the resilient painting was a movie painting. And I'm like, nope, not a movie painting. But good guess. It looks like a movie painting, in a way. But yeah, well, that is certainly for real. That people had different art tastes altogether. Trying to bring back some of the whites under his eye here with a paint pen or a white pen, a gel pen. And then up here, restore some of these whites here. Good night, Lisa. Thanks for joining in. And again, thank you for your help this weekend. I really, really appreciate it. You have a good night. Have a good rest of the week. I'll talk to you later. Let's see. What do you guys think so far? It definitely looks more like him now than it did before, I would say. Let me see about using some of my, uh, my ink pens. Let's see. All right. Not as much dark on this nose as I have it. Trying to use the edge of this. Hmm. Still got a nice chisel point. I'm not used to using chisel points. Almost seems a little dry. I like the chisel point. All right. What am I using next? Let me see if I can't get. I think this is a brush. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and use the brush. Yeah, there we go. More my speed here. My son Nicholas is he continues to work on putting out content on his YouTube channel. He's doing a lot of drawing and pen and ink as well, while talking about one of his favorite anime shows and or manga shows or whatever it is. I got a glare on my paper, that's why I keep doing this. And so every time he puts a video out, I make sure I'm watching and listening. I wish I had said this before Lisa took off, but I got good news the other night. Um, I'm gonna be a grandma again. I'm going to have another grandson who is got a date with Destiny in early September. So yeah, I I'm going to have another grandson, and I'm very happy about it. I just don't know how I'm going to get up there to see him, but I'm going to try for sure. This has got a nice fine point, this brush pen. I like it. Now we're here. Very too much white. And then it's down. What do you guys think? Yeah, I'm happy, and like I said, I the only thing I want to try to do is go get up there and see him. You know what I mean? And That is, that's the trick. So yeah, apparently I wasn't the first one to know. Um, that's one of the things I guess I get a little jealous of. I know I shouldn't, but it's okay. I'll get over myself. You know what I mean? I'll get over it. Yeah, the hair has got the spirit of his locks, but it is definitely not the best. I really want to paint. That tells you that I am definitely not a pen and ink artist, but that's okay, you know. Hi, Kim. I don't know when you popped in, but if you just popped in, oh, thank you. Yeah, you saw it's Pete that I'm working on. If you're still there, Kim, say hello again so I know that you're there. She's on the YouTube, guys. So yeah, I really liked this portrait of this black and white portrait of Hank Seth because it looks menacing, and sometimes you need somebody who is going to kick butt and take names, and because sometimes that's what it's called for. And he seems to be the guy for the job. Ah, how you doing, Kim? How you doing? Uh, I think I am at a point where I am gonna screw this up if I keep tinkering with it. But all right, so it comes down here and then down a little bit more. I do think I do think that I got him captured in this in a way. Striped. There you go. There you go. Not bad, not bad. And there's definitely, you can't see it because I got black paper. I don't have the best values, but again, I got something on his face wrong. I tried to correct the eyes. I think the eyes are definitely too angled. Even still, I tried to correct that a little bit, and I think that helped, but it's not there. Still not there. But, so yeah, so what I'm planning to do this weekend, I've got a 5-day weekend because one, I'm taking Friday off and I'm taking Monday off. I mean, Tuesday off because Monday is the holiday. Uh, And so the one of the other shows I considered doing but backed out of because it was just going to be too much as a newbie was the Blue Ridge Art Festival, um, Spring Arts in the Park, I guess it's called. And um, it's a bigger show in Blue Ridge, which is about an hour away. And we had been to that one before, me and Ron, like, I don't know, 5 years ago, maybe. And I bought a purse there from a leather worker. And it was a nice event, nice day. And I wanted to go up there this weekend and kind of do a reconnaissance, see what. how artists are doing um, with that show and how it does and whatever. So working splits on the garden, getting up at 5, working till it hits 80, then head back to the gardens when the shade. Boy, you work all day. Holy cow. Um, I don't know how you do it, Kim. I don't know how you do it. Um, but yeah, so I may go up on Saturday to the Blue Ridge in Blue Ridge, Georgia, and just check it out, this time as a customer, so to speak. Um, I don't get enough black on that one. And see what's cooking up there. Because I may try to do that one next year. It's another one that is a little bit more prestigious in terms of its requirements. Now, some of the requirements, I complained about them early on, obviously, because, it seems like that is preclusive for people like me. But when you do have a tent, you do need to have weights on your tent. That is absolutely a must. So, I don't begrudge that at all. Yeah. But, the whole, you can't have a pop-up tent, which means you have to spend money on a professional tent, and you start at $2,000 on the very low end for that. And it's like, I don't have that kind of cash right now. I'm trying to raise that kind of cash. So, so yeah, I'm gonna go and check that out. And then I'm also gonna be doing some painting. I got to start another couple of paintings and keep building my um, body of work. Um, and I'm also this week and this weekend, I'm going to apply for the exhibitions with the Harris Arts Festival in Calhoun. This is the one that in 2023 I won Best in Show with my Gypsy Beauty. So I have a special feeling for that particular event and that location and everything because that was like my first award-winning anything. And I wasn't even thinking that that was going to happen. So I'm going to do that. I'm also going to apply for the Creative Arts Guild in Dalton, as I have in years past for the exhibition. But I'm also this year going to do their Arts Fest, which is a tent event. What's good about theirs is they have their vendors in their, what's the word I'm looking for, honey? It's pavilion kind of ceiling. Their building has an open air back to it. And so they put all their tent artists and such um, underneath the pavilion area. So it's open air on the sides, but you're protected from above. So you'd be able to be protected and not have to worry about rain. And I'm like, okay, that's good because I worry about that, obviously. I'm trying to get some of the jacket here. There we go. You take a lot of naps. All right, what are you thinking about this now? You think this is starting to kind of look like him? I knew I could get there. It's looking pretty scratchy though. Uh, kind of darken this up a little bit on that side. I'm gonna try to do another some bright spots of white here to brighten some of these. Yeah. So, um, so yeah, so those are the things I'm doing in the summer months. I'm gonna just work on painting some more, and I got plenty to paint. I want to do another admirable masculinity painting. Um, I want to do, um, I want to branch out and maybe do an insect of some kind. But obviously with um, a little bit more pizzazz, I guess. I don't know how else to say it. Um, so yeah, and I'll probably do an oil or mixed media collage or something like that. Um, what else? I have to do another collab with both Lisa and Ron. I need to try to get a Zulubra painting done for Zulubras for his limited edition cover. Oh my gosh, it's almost 9:30. Last time I looked, it was barely 9. So, but yeah. And then I also want to start my a painting on my grandson, my first grandson, for my son. But what do you think? Not bad, huh? I'll put it towards here too. It's a little, you can see the glare there, but not bad for what, an hour, you know, from scratch. But yeah, I feel good that I broke out the inks and that I didn't just do black on white, but I did white on black, which is always a challenge. Um, so yeah, I broke out my inks and my colored paper and everything. That's cool. But yeah, so between now and next week, I got to figure out how to get palette cam working again, which means I have to look up some tutorials on what they changed on VDO. I was using VDO.com or whatever it is to connect to my old phone to use as a camera, which I do from above for the palette cam. And suddenly, and I had kept the settings, the website, the whole room and all the settings up on this computer, and all I had to do was reconnect the phone each time. Well, that's not working anymore. And it's asking me to sign in when it never did that before. So I have to go figure out what the heck I'm doing with it. I'm going to sign this and call this done. It's a sketch. So let's see here. Come on now. Um, So yeah, I think next week my goal will be to have something where I'm working on work in progress um, Wednesday. So I'll have a new canvas going. I'm not sure which one it's going to be, but I'm gonna come on now. But yes, Mr. Department of War. There he is. Um, so yeah, I got a 24 by 36, a 24 by 30. I got a 24 square inch canvas, all staring at me, waiting for me to get started. So yeah, let me put this on the full full thing and I'll hold this up. So yeah, let me show you I have my other laptop, my older one here. I had the picture up to use. Uh, and again, I don't know who took the picture, so I'm not. I'm not going to worry about, this is like in my sketchbook, you know. Uh, but if someone wanted it, I guess I would sell it. But I'm not going to make prints of it and all that jazz, just to be on the safe side. But thank you, Kim. Thanks everybody on that. But if you enjoyed this content, please like, please subscribe. Um, oh, that's right. I need to probably try to do a raid again if I want to get credit on my Rumble Creator Program stats here. I got ink still left in this. Um, it's not too difficult to do a raid. I just want to pick one that's a real deal, not like last time. Thank you, Kim. I appreciate it. And I appreciate your friendship very much. So, I'm gonna go ahead and try to do a raid like I've done in the past. Um, how do I do this again? I gotta do raid. If you're asking what do you mean raid, it's a Rumble platform thing, where you raid from your live stream into another live stream. And when you're in the Rumble Creator Program, you have to kind of raid someone else's live stream. So let's raid Timcast. Timcast IRL. Let's do that. It's just to make it easy. I know we did bust into someone's classroom. It was like a documentary. It was like, oh, what the heck was that? Anyway, please support me in any way you feel that you can. Prayers are welcome as well. Like, subscribe, put a comment, share, and all that jazz. I'm going to put out a um, newsletter to talk about this as well and go from there. So let's raid Timcast and see what happens. What do you say? Um, Again, thank you everybody for joining. Have a good night. Have a good rest of the week. See you next week.